Hello, welcome to Learning English Pro. This video is about vocabulary relating to soccer. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified every time we post a new English lesson. If you're ready to begin learning about soccer, sit back, relax, and let's start learning English. The first thing we need to understand with this game is that it's called soccer in American English and football in British English. So whichever one is your preference, you can use this with different nouns. Like team, you can call it a soccer team or a football team. Or you could say a soccer player or a football player. So let's move on and look at some different nouns associated with soccer or football. Soccer is played on a field we call a pitch, and the pitch is usually covered in grass, which is kept short, and most soccer games are played outdoors. With some soccer games, you may play it on an artificial surface we call AstroTurf. And this material can be used sometimes in indoor soccer games. Indoor games usually consist of smaller teams. A team with just 5 players would be called a 5-a-side team. Soccer can also be played in a stadium, which is for much bigger games, like an international soccer game between 2 different countries. And most soccer games have 11 players, especially official FIFA games. Let's take some time to understand in English what positions different players can play in. Any soccer game is comprised of 2 different teams which are opposing each other. The first position we will look at is the goalkeeper. Repeat after me. Goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's position is at the goal posts. Goal posts. And directly behind the goalkeeper is the net. Repeat after me. Net. Let's move on to the next position, which is defender. And there is usually 2 or 3 defenders on each soccer team. The next position is the sweeper. Repeat after me. Sweeper. And when this player has the opportunity, he or she will run all the way up the pitch with the ball to surprise the other team. The next position we will look at is midfielder. This position is called this because you are in the middle of the field when you're in this position. Depending on where you are, you could be a defensive midfielder, a central midfielder, or an attacking midfielder. So as you can see, there are subcategories for each position. Moving on, the next position we will look at is a forward. And these players are offensive players. They play near the opposing team's goalpost. The last position we'll discuss is a striker. This is a player whose job it is to score a goal. And the striker brings us to the end of our list of positions in soccer. Let's move on and have a look at some more nouns relating to soccer. And first up, we have a soccer ball, which is American English. And next up, we have a football, which is of course British English. And of course, you can just use the word ball if you prefer. Our next word describes people who are very enthusiastic about football and in their team in particular. These could be called followers, or they could be called supporters, or they could be called simply fans. Next up, we have a person who is very important in any soccer game, the referee. Repeat after me. Referee. The referee might give you a yellow card if you do something against the rules or act in a bad way. If you do something very serious during a soccer match, you might get a red card, which means the referee will remove you from the game. A referee can also award a penalty shootout. This gives a player the opportunity to score a goal against the other team. Repeat after me. Penalty shootout. Our next word is probably the most important noun in soccer. The goal. Repeat after me. Goal. Okay, let's move on to some verbs relating to soccer, along with some example sentences. Our first verb is to kick. Repeat after me. Kick. Let's use this verb in a past tense sentence example. The striker kicked the soccer ball at the penalty shootout. The striker kicked the soccer ball at the penalty shootout. Our next verb is to dribble. Repeat after me. Dribble. And this verb means to run along with the ball. Let's say it one more time. Dribble. Let's use this verb in a past tense sentence. The sweeper dribbled the ball up the pitch towards the goalposts. The sweeper dribbled the ball up the pitch towards the goalposts. Our next verb is to pass. Repeat after me. Pass. And our sentence example is, the defenders pass the ball to each other. The defenders pass the ball to each other. And now it's time for our last verb of our video. To score. Repeat after me. Score. And our sentence example is, the forward player passed the ball to the striker who scored a goal. The forward player passed the ball to the striker who scored a goal. And that sentence example brings us to the end of our soccer vocabulary video. Well done, you've learned lots of new English. And if you enjoyed this video, don't worry because we have lots more sports videos coming very soon. Please like this video before you go. And if you have a suggestion or a question for us, why not leave a comment below? We love to hear from you and we read all your comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our social media like YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram and Facebook. Follow us today and remember, keep learning English like a pro.